Write this down, please. Very important. Here's what principles are. Principles are first law, original rule, foundation law. They are inherent laws. In other words, principles are natural laws. They are creation laws. You can't change them. And you should never change a principle because a principle is stable. Here's what Jesus said. Do not think that I came to abolish the law or the prophets. Matthew 5:17. I didn't come to abolish the law, but to fulfill them. And I tell you the truth, unless heaven and earth disappears, not one small letter, nor the least stroke of the pen will anybody by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Anyone who breaks the least of these commandments and laws and teaches others to break them is called least in my kingdom. But if anyone teaches those who keep them and they practice those laws themselves, they shall be called what? Great in the kingdom. He says, law. Keep laws, keep laws. We get this idea that grace cancels law. Christ says, no, grace enforces laws. Grace was given so you could keep laws again. The laws of God. I'm not talking ritual laws. I'm talking about the natural laws and the spiritual laws of God. They are still enforced. And listen to me. We live in an age what we call rights. Everybody say rights. What is a big one, eh? I want my rights. I got a right to marry who I want to marry. I got a right to sleep where I want to sleep. I got a right to smoke marijuana. I got a right. Everybody got a right. They're going to soon ask for rights to sleep with dogs. And because you're in democracy, they got to give it to them. Because they can argue the same foundation as anything else. I have a right. Write this down. It's very important. Not all rights are protected. What did I say? Not all rights should be protected. No. Sir Vincent Churchill said something, and I heard it this week. I read it. He said, democracy is the worst form of government, except the others. What he's saying is, it ain't no different either. It's just the best one that we got. So don't you glorify and use democracy as the end of all your matters. Democracy itself has its own built-in destruction. Now, I love democracy, thank God for it, but we shouldn't trust it without God. Because democracy is really humanism without laws. Where the humans decide who's in power and what is right. And we can't live that way because we ain't that smart. There's got to be a higher reference we use to protect ourselves from ourselves. Everything can be right. Am I right? Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah. Your son 18. I got a right to leave home. Really? And he fly in your face. Not all rights ain't right. Write this down, please. Not all rights are right because rights must be regulated. I wonder why you don't jump off that 10-story building. Tell me why. Sometimes, we've been in hotels in different parts of the world, and you walk out on the porch, you look down, 20 stories. What goes through your mind? Yeah, it goes through my mind too. Boy, I wonder how I'd feel to just jump. And then my conscience says, I dare you. Go by yourself. I staying up here. You got a right to jump. You have a right to jump. No one's stopping you. But not all rights are right. Ladies and gentlemen, rights without righteousness is destruction. Because Corinthians says this, 1 Corinthians 9, one of my most favorite verses, verse 12. It says, I have the right to do anything. I'm quoting the Bible. You say, but not everything is beneficial. Let me quote it again. It's from the Bible, okay? Listen carefully. 1 Corinthians 9, 12. I have the right to do anything I want, but not everything is beneficial. Can you say it with me out loud? I have the right to do anything, but not everything is beneficial. I have a right to cigarettes. I can smoke cigarettes, I don't smoke cigarettes. I was thinking about that, this morning, meditating. I was thinking, cigarettes. You got a right to cigarettes. The government gives you permission to smoke cigarettes. Then they got to deal with your lung cancer and spend billions of dollars on your health care afterwards. This government mentality is strange. You can smoke cigarettes and kill yourself, and then we'll pay for you while you're dying. This is logic. Alcohol can be sold to an 18-year-old. Okay, no problem. That's a law. You can walk into a bar room at 18 and buy all the hard liquor you want. No restrictions on what you buy. And at 21, you're an alcoholic. Which means now that you are begging on the streets, you're getting social support from taxpayers, and you are killing your liver with cirrhosis, and now the hospital got to take care of you, which we paying for, and you got to be on that machine that we paid for, and the government made sure you had access to the liquor. Yeah. I don't understand the logic sometimes. Don't forget now, you got a right to drink, right? You got a right to smoke, right? I find it ironic. See, to smoke. They say, but now on the label, this could kill you. Do you understand the logic? Smoke, but it could kill you. And while they're killing you, we can pay for you in the hospital with our tax money. Logic. The Bible says God has made the wise foolish. And we sit and debate this stuff for hours. And then we come up with a conclusion. And the conclusion is what we get. Be wise. He says, I will not do anything that doesn't benefit me. Look at the last part. Read out loud. Go. I have the right to do anything, but I will not be mastered by anything. In other words, I have a right to smoke, but I shouldn't become an addict. The Bible covers everything. This is about, I don't see you in the Bible where it says you shouldn't, smoke marijuana. See it right there? Anything that interferes with your natural chemical balance in your body should not take part in your body.